Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video I'm going to show you a really cool team for just blitzing your way through this faction assault in the Fire Rift. It is mega overpowered, really good for newer players as well, and makes absolute mincemeat of not just this faction but any faction which allows the mana colours. So I'll show that team in just a second, but these are really worth doing because there's some nice rewards to collect here. Get souls, which is really good if you're a newer player, mythic ingots, orbs of chaos, diamonds, vault keys and more. So totally worth doing. Now just to point out, before you go spending your hard-earned gems to get something like a potion of enchantment from the shop, just make sure you're not given one for free, because potions are stored now. Now if you've got your horde level, and in this case it's in the Fire Rift to level 100, you've got a potion stored. There it is. If you're close to that, like 97, 98, then make sure you just, if you can, chuck in that bit of extra stuff to get your potion of enchantment stored and effectively for free. Because free is a nice number. We all like the number 3. Not as in 3, as in free. You know what I mean. Right, onto the battles themselves. Nice and quick and easy on this faction. If you like, you can just do 3 quick battles straight across the middle to the end. You can do it that way. Or if you choose, you can go to the middle. Once you've done this one, you can then pick off these extra rooms all around the edges if you choose to build up the room treasure multiplier. Entirely your choice. For the sake of speed and the video, I'm just going to be going straight across the middle. Right, so for this team, what we got is Mang, Chalcedony, the Devil, and Zernabog. This is a lot of fun to use with this team. Like I say, I've shown how to do factions with Mang a few times before. Several weeks, maybe even a couple of months ago. A lot of fun, makes mincemeat out of any faction where you can use Chalcedony and Mang combined. That is literally all you need. It is absolutely superb. And the way it works is Mang eliminates all armor from an enemy, then deals damage to them, and you gain attack equal to the armor eliminated. So this is a great leveler if you're a newer player, because you may look at my attack and think, yeah, this works better for me because I've got a really high attack, but it doesn't matter. On those really high factions where the enemy might have, say, 250 attack, that is what you gain straight away as soon as you cast Mang. In 2 casts of Mang on a team that's got 250 attack on each enemy, you're on 500 attack and you're on 1000 attack before you know it. It is absolutely superb, and it applies even if you're a newer player. Works fantastically well, and it works superbly well with this team. Now, Chalcedony, again, deals damage to an enemy, then creates 3 brown gems boosted by all construct allies. So a team of all constructs, that's going to be 15 brown gems. That's going to make her loop more than a goblin on a broken roller coaster, and that is a lot of looping. You can make it worse for the opponent by including Zernabog. Conjures a dust storm when my turn begins, which is brown, so we get a constant plume and supply of brown gems. And it works even better because the Devil inflicts a random status effect on an enemy when an ally casts a spell. So when we loop, we're just chucking Entangle, Deathmark, Freeze, whatever you like onto the opponents non-stop. It makes it so impossible for them, it's kind of ridiculous. If you want to have even more fun with Chalcedony and you have a second one, you can throw in a second Chalcedony into this team. It does work superbly well. On the very odd occasion that Chalcedony didn't get enough charge, then the second one is usually ready to go. So if you want even more loop potential, just chuck in a second Chalcedony. Construct class, Geomancer. Absolutely fantastic. Reduce damage from skulls by 50%. All constructs start with 50% mana. Impact, Anti-Magic Sphere, Tactician, Rock Solid, Tree of Knowledge and Fortitude are the main champion talents. Rock Solid, absolutely superb in this. We get brown all the time. So what happens is you end up basically with a non-stop barrier. So let's take this team for a quick spin on the early levels, then I'll show you how it works on the higher levels. And this does work on level 500 really easily. I've done it. I've used the same combination of troops when you can use Chalcedony and Mang many times on the factions that allow it, and it is literally never ever failed. So we've got Mang. If you're a lower level player, you want to cast this on anyone you like. It's typically somebody with the highest level of attack. Now when you cast Chalcedony again, she's likely to loop and charge up Mang again. So if you choose, you can then steal someone else's attack. We're now on 143. If you want to cast Zernabog to gain that extra mana because we didn't get enough, then you can do. Again, steal the attack, do damage, and any random skull hits are going to be absolutely obliterating the opponent. It's going to be quite ludicrous, to be honest. Let's do the legendary battle in the middle. I'll just do these three literally, and then I'll jump up to a much higher level and show how it still works even in that. So we'll grab some of that for Chalcedony. Cast Mang. When you have to cast Mang, if you got a skull hit by fluke, like you took a gem match and you hit the enemy, so you've done some damage to them, obviously then cast Mang on somebody else because you're going to steal their attack and it's going to be easier to kill that opponent who just got hit anyway. Like we've done that, we don't want to do it on them because they've been damaged. It makes them easier to kill. We'll do it on them at the bottom. Can use Zernabog to generate mana if we need it. Got a random skull hit which just obliterate the opponent. And if you want, you can just use Chalcedony to loop and kill whoever's left. There's a skull hit there if we needed it. Really, really easy. I'm not going to show this to death because it is super, super easy to use. And the devil just makes it more fun to use. When you get looping with Chalcedony on those later levels, it really is quite a lot of fun watching the enemy just get absolutely, literally smothered with status effects. Like I say, you don't even need to avoid that, even if you're a newer player. You can just take this instead. You're going to get a barrier. The AI will probably take that, and you didn't lose anything. Got Mang charged up. Let's chuck it on them. Now got 155 attack. Cast Chalcedony on that opponent. Get them out of the way. Charge up Mang again. Hit the next opponent down. They've got armor. We'll trash that armor. Kill them off. Get Mang charged up again. And just rinse and repeat. It becomes the easiest thing in the world, and every time we get brown, we're getting a barrier, remember. It literally can't be easier. This is going to work on level 500 without any shadow of a doubt. Done it many times, and it works in different factions too. That you're allowed to use the combination of, I must make clear. Alright, so I'm going to jump forward now to a higher level. Okay, I've jumped forward into the delve itself onto level 240, just to show how it can work exactly the same. Just to make it clear, I do actually prefer this team with 2 times a Chalcedony rather than a devil, because it does make it a loop even better, but it does still work really well here. So exactly the same theory applies. If we can get Mang up straight away, that is a bonus. Totally do that. So when we hit Mang, we're going to do it on, say, the first opponent. Take away that armor, convert that to attack. Cast Chalcedony, always on that opponent you just hit, because you want to do it on the one that's got no armor. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to steal anything with your Mang if you do it on that same opponent. So we do it on the next one down. Take that armor, convert it to attack. Didn't get charged up that time, obviously, so we'll cast Zernabog. Again, the opponent where you didn't take away the armor from, now we've got a death mark on them, so we'll leave that there just in case they die, and cast it on the opponent below them. No need to cast this. It's just, you know, don't really need it, to be honest. This is rather slow for this. Let's start finishing people off. Like, even if your Chalcedony doesn't do as much damage as I do, then it's still going to loop. You can choose to loop it continuously if you want. Just keep on casting. I'm not even really looking what I'm doing. I'm just continuously casting a Chalcedony. Any incidental skull drops are going to be wiping out the opposition, but that was the lowest level one, so we'll go on to the middle one now, which is the legendary battle. Like I say, any factions where you can use this combination, brown or red, you're laughing. If you use brown, you can use these 2 combinations. It's absolutely superb. And Zernabog, and you would just chuck in that extra Chalcedony instead of the devil. So literally any faction we can use a Chalcedony on with Mang is going to be absolutely superb. Level 500, an absolute breeze with this team. So we'll get that up. We get rock solid every single time we do that. So that takes no damage from us whatsoever. Skull hits are more devastating than normal, as we just saw. We've got that ready to go again, so we'll hit it on somebody with a lot of armor. 242, 221. They're death marked, so might die anyway. We'll hit it on them. 554 attack. We'll pick it on the opponent where we didn't steal the armor from. Don't need to do this anymore, obviously. I'm doing it now for effect. 798 attack now. Can do a skull hit. Look at this. Bang. 414 damage. Get out of here. Don't need to do Mang anymore. Any skull hits are going to be devastating. There you go. Kabosh. And let's do the last level. And everything's relative on these as well. So when it gets to level 500, like I said, it doesn't literally matter even if you're a newer player. The more attack they have, the more devastating your skull hits get. And you've got a barrier all the time. It is about as safe as things get. High King Irongut was long considered the king of the delves. I think in a way Chalcedony is even better because she's faster, more reliable. You don't have to concentrate on getting your attack like with High King Irongut. You need his attack ideally over 100 to make it work properly. And even then, there are some opponents which are indigestible, so the Devour doesn't work. This just works, full stop. I say Chalcedony is the new queen of the delves. Even better. What, no brown? Let's cast Zernabog then. Creates so much brown you really can't fail to get it charged up. Let's hit it on them before they die, because I want to steal their attack just to show the effect. Hit Chalcedony on somebody who you haven't yet stole the attack from. There you go, 1000 attack. And a barrier. Totally unnecessary in some ways, but totally cool anyway. Loop Chalcedony. Let the skulls do their business when they drop. If they drop, they don't always, but they might. And when they do, it's just kabosh. No skill in the skull dropping on this. They just will either drop or they won't. There you go, there's one. There's another one. So quite a lot of fun. Super easy to use. Makes good use of the devil, casting all those negative status effects on the enemies. But there's a video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful, helpful, any of those things or more, then yeah, why not bash that like and subscribe button. So much more to come in the future from Gems of War from me. Most of all though, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.